Hi everyone, it's Coach Ali. Now, a bunch of you guys have tried my elite cardio breathing program, and you've asked me to create a mild version for people who are a little bit more unfit or heavy smokers or not mobile enough to do that particular program. And then I had a few older viewers pointing out that coronavirus is in fact knocking off the over 60 population, and that the younger people who can get through my elite program are probably going to be just fine. After reading that, I thought I have to produce something to try to look after our older population. So here we are. Now, I'm hoping my own mum and dad, both of who are over 60 years of age, and they watch my programs regularly, but they never actually participate. I'm hoping, no, scratch that, I'm demanding that they get up and join in on this program. Now, mum and dad, if you're watching, and I know you'll be watching because I'm going to send a link straight to your phones, you better both hit me back with a WhatsApp video message showing me that you're actually doing the program. Otherwise, I'm going to call you out even worse on the next video. Okay, so from the previous video, we know to improve your lungs, we need to stay hydrated with plenty of water. We know we must not smoke. Now, if you're a smoker and you've been considering quitting, you know there is no better time to put the ciggies away. And finally, we know we need to be active, either through sports or through exercise. Basically, something that gets your heart rate up and has you breathing a little heavier than usual to get your lungs to do some extra work. Given that the world has virtually shut down and new social distancing protocols are in play and so on, then sports are probably out. Therefore, we're gonna drink plenty of water, we're gonna breathe clean, fresh air, and we're gonna exercise regularly using my programs, of course. Anyway, let's get started with the program. I want you guys to have your pen with you. Now, I've got one here with me. Let's take out the cap and the ink so that we're turning it into a firm straw. Now today we're going to do all of our breathing exercises through this straw because I want to ensure that you don't cheat, and it's going to help you with controlling your breath. Alright, so let's start with marching on the spot. Now let's do this for a full minute because I want you to breathe a little heavier than normal. Now you're going to march, and while you're marching, I'm going to go ahead and explain the breathing exercise for you. At the end of the marching set, I want you guys to posture up straight, either standing or seated. Now, if you're feeling a little bit lightheaded at the end of the set, then definitely sit down. And if your knees are okay, you can go all the way down and sit on the floor. If they're not, just pull up a chair and sit on that chair. If you can, then just remain standing with your chest proud, which is going to be even better. Now, if you place the straw in your mouth, then using your nose, let's take a big inhale, filling up both of your lungs, and then blow out into the straw, making sure that there's no leak on the sides. Now guys, the air must go through the straw, and make sure that you empty your lungs out before taking your next inhale through your nose. Let's take 5 slow, deep, consecutive breaths using your straw. Okay, now that you've done both your cardio exercise and your breathing exercise, let's go into the second set. So what we're going to do is we're going to squat up and down for a minute. Again, focusing on getting that heart rate up a little bit. Now you can see that my feet are wide apart and my knees are pointing out, which will take the focus off your lower quadriceps in favor of your abductors and your glutes. So basically no pain in the knees while you're squatting. Now if your knees still bother you, then you can either reduce the squat motion, make it a little bit more shallow, or you can hold onto a secure surface like a heavy dining table or a pillar and take some of the pressure off your knees. Let's do this for a whole minute. Now while you're doing your squatting, I'm going to go ahead and explain your next breathing exercise. Let's inhale through the nose, then hold your breath for 10 seconds, and then finally exhale the entire breath out through the straw. Again, 5 consecutive breaths for this exercise. Now, let me give you guys a quick heads up. While I was researching this breathing technique, I realized that you can do it first thing in the morning, and that'll help you identify if there's any fibrosis of the lungs developing, which can indicate that you have coronavirus and you're in its early stage of the incubation period. This will normally happen before more recognizable symptoms kick in, but we'll talk more about this at the end of the program. Okay, well done so far. Now let's do one last cardio breathing combination. Let's shuffle from side to side, focusing on elevating your heart rate again. Now, if your knees are good, then let's go a little lower on these squats, which is more engaging on your quads, and it's just going to be a little bit more challenging. On the other hand, if your knees are no good, then stand a little taller and just tread carefully. We're going to do this exercise for a minute. Let's go. Now, while you're doing your side shuffles, let's understand the next breathing exercise. I want to inhale through the nose nice and deep and push 5 short consecutive exhales through the straw. Now, when you inhale, I want you to fill up your whole lung right up, and I want you to focus on pushing your stomach out as far as it'll go. And when you exhale, I want you to squeeze with your stomach and make sure you push all of the air out. 5 consecutive breaths. Let's go. Well done for getting through today's cardio breathing workout for our older population. Let's rerun this program and practice it every other day until your lungs are nice and strong. Okay, now let's go back to the home coronavirus testing that I said I would cover. As you guys know, the virus has an incubation period, typically between 7 and 14 days. This means that you could be infected and walking around for a bunch of days, potentially infecting other people before any of the symptoms like dry coughing, shortness of breath, or fever and headache kick in. This long incubation period makes COVID-19 easier to spread than previous coronaviruses such as SARS or MERS. To detect if fibrosis of the lungs have started, which is the reason you get that shortness of breath, you can do this quick test in the morning as soon as you wake up. Okay, so drink a glass of water first, then take your pen straw and put it in your mouth. Inhale deep through your nose and hold your breath for 10 seconds before exhaling and pushing out all of the air through the straw. Now, if you start to cough, then relax for a second and have another go at it. If you cough again a second time, and you don't typically get smoker's coughs or anything similar to that, then it's a good time to get some professional testing done and practice social distancing at least until you get some results, because you don't want to be infecting your friends and your family. Okay, that's all for today's program, you guys. Now, if you're getting through the breathing program easily and you think it's time to step things up a notch, then what you can do is have a go at this program right here, and that'll be a really good progression for you. Now, if you've got any questions or if you've got something to say, then please comment and let me know. You can see from this video that I do read your comments and I will take action when I think it's needed. See you again very soon. Take care of yourselves and each other.